Alright, back into Gungeon. Run number 2 of the evening. It's still the big day in which Smash Brothers got its name. Not Smash 5, it's not Smash Kartash for a fee. It's Smash Ultimate. Still pretty hyped from that video presentation. But I don't have my Wii U, or I would be playing Smash 4 right now, just out of, I don't know, having hype on the brain, but however, we do have Gungeon to play, and we do know that the update is coming soon. Those guys gave me jack shit. For not getting hit, they gave me like, I think at the most it could have been 4 each. Dude, you're supposed to get more. You can give up to 10. No, fuck. I thought I picked that up. Oh well. Not that big of a deal. Like last run, I made some hugely stupid mistakes. And I want this run to not repeat that. But it looks like I might be stuck. You know what? Even though this says I'm getting 156 frames, it seems like it's at a locked 144, which is great. Yo, welcome back, Andron. Yeah, I don't know. I'm crazy hyped. I'm glad that Nintendo focused on Smash and did the Invitational and did all of that stuff. You missed it. You left right before I got a black market on the last floor, and I also got a Gungeon, which gave me a. It gave me the compressed air tank, and I had 208 or 204 casings, so I was like, oh cool, I'll just buy this, use it to open the thing, and then go into the black market. Well, I bought it. It did not give me an S tier weapon because I guess compressed air tank doesn't produce water. I don't know. It didn't work properly. And then I didn't have enough money, and I was at 0 curse, so I could not go into the black market. It was the fucking worst. But yeah, my brain's not all there today. I got Smash on the old noggin. Yeah, it was one of my dumbest plays to date. I've had some pretty boneheaded plays, but that was like way the fuck up there. It felt so bad to like walk into the black market after realizing that the water wasn't going to do anything, and just take damage and be like, what? What happened? I can always go into these because I always get curse. But I didn't pick up any curse. I forgot to get one from some cursed pots earlier on because I had the old crest. Yeah. Sucked. Ooh, that was a bad dodge. Well, even still, I would have put myself under the requirements to get in. Even if the compressed air tank did work. Oh, makeshift cannon, okay. Well, that'll be fun if we get duct tape. Not gonna really use it otherwise. Maybe on a phase of the ledge. If we get, like, double vision or something. If we get duct tape, we'll use it in every room. Mm-hmm. I swear that the compressed air tank has worked before. I swear it. I don't know how to prove it, but just trust me on the fact that I swear it. Those have been the stingiest motherfucking gun nuts. Yeah, that's good. I'll go back and watch the 250 videos I have to see what I can see at the bottom of the deep blue CCC. Sorry, no. Spoomel, thank you for the follow. You're a real pal. Oh, I do have blinks. There we go. There's the freaking thing. No idea where the secret room is going to be, but let's check here. Nope. Big surprise. Aw, man. Alright, this run, let's not get hit one room away from turning in the old crest. Shall we? You guys hear that car alarm? I love car alarms. They're really useful at annoying everybody in your neighborhood and nothing else. Anybody that's robbed a car and an alarm has gone off has never just been like, oh no, I better not rob this car. I had a car with a car alarm on it one time that was busted, and I was driving down the road with the alarm just going off. It just was going crazy, just wham, wham, like as I drove. And I drove right next to a police officer, looked over at him, shrugged my shoulders, and he was like, ha ha ha. Well, anyway. So, it did nothing. If I had been a car thief, I would have just had myself a free car. The only annoyance would have been the alarm going off as I stole it. I don't know. I don't know what the point of them are. My current car has an alarm on it, and if I sit on my keys wrong, it'll go off. And I fucking hate it. I've taken it to the dealership, asked them to turn off the alarm, and they said they can't. To, like, disable it completely. So I think car alarms are the absolute worst. Come on, buddy, get dead. There we go. Now we pick up all of the freaking shit. Woo! Tight corners combat. Oop, oop. don't need to worry about those guys. They'll be dead before they can do anything. It's weird when the bullets are still alive. But the guys aren't. Oh my god, that's so freaking great. Alright. Icebreaker, I'm kind of overusing it. I tend to save it for bullet hell. But it is nice to have every once in a while. To just take out a lower floor. Not very good on bosses, though. It's not like a glacier. It makes bosses worthless. How'd I get hit? I thought I was clear. Oh well. Not like it matters on this freaking fight. Whoop! Whoop! I just didn't realize that I was in range. I thought I was totally clear. And it actually felt kind of stupid that I got hit. Again, it's not like it matters. It's just like... What? Say what? Okay. There's our health back. Hey, in the shell. I keep using this setup. Who's the guy in that emote? He looks like Stephen Curry. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if he was, like, some super famous, well-known streamer or something. I assume that all of the big ones are either early big celebrities on Twitch, or, like, employees or founders or whatever of the thing. Woo! I hate these guys. I swear I've taken more damage to them than any other regular enemy. 8 shots for those guys. Okay. Good to know. Wop. Not a very good shot. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Someone posted that one of the things they should fix with the update is those guys should be able to puke in all 4 directions. And I completely 100% agree with you. But I guarantee if they add that, I'm going to get hit by that puke. Or I'm going to be so surprised that I'm just going to stop and stand in the puke. Guess we're getting the green destroying the blue. At least I have some curse this time. Dude, it'd be really, like, amazingly nice if I could get some ammo this run. Last run was kind of lame and ammo free. Doot 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 doot. Doot 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 doot. I really feel like they should get a new Animal Crossing game. I think they're probably saving it so they don't blow their wads on every Nintendo IP all at the same time. But give those Animal Crossing guys something. Part of me is kind of assuming that the mobile games were tests to see which series they should keep pushing forward, and Pocket Camp probably didn't do too well. I think 2D Mario Run didn't make much money either. Pokemon Go did, so they're like, alright, we're doing Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu. If they had... Oh, well, Pikmin's already in the works, so... The thing is, they don't need a Mario Maker game. They just need a freaking port. Unless they do Mario Maker 3D, which will be insane. If they do a Mario Maker 3... Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah, they might not want to, but they fucking should. Wouldn't it be crazy if this whole time they've been working on Mario Maker 3D that has like Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, Mario Sunshine templates? Are you crazy? Andron, if it's just a port, everybody would buy it. I'd buy it. Their ports have been selling like fucking crazy. I mean, whether or not they say Smash Ultimate is a port or a sequel, it's 90% port. Zelda was a port. Splatoon 2 is barely more than a port. Maybe the DLC stuff is taking it out of port territory, but nah, I don't think anybody cares if a game's a port. The Switch has sold already like 4 times as many units as the freaking Wii U in its full lifetime. I'm making that number up. I know I'm making that number up, but still. They went from their least popular to their most popular system in the last decade. Mario Maker would sell. Oh my god. Just give me the freaking room. I would. I don't have my Wii U anymore. I gave it away to a friend. I'd buy it in a heartbeat. and I played the shit out of the first one. I played like 120 hours out of the first one. On the first one, I mean. A lot of people don't have their Wii U's that had it. And nobody that had it on the 3DS is going to feel bad about buying it for the Switch. God, I thought for sure that was the right way. True. But I mean, let's be real. Oh, what? It's just right there? The games on the Switch are 80% port. Odyssey is the big non-port game on the freaking Switch, and that's really it. Splatoon 2, I feel like is a port. Maybe I haven't played either of them, but it seems like a graphically enhanced rehashing of the first. Also, no one buying a game that is a port doesn't matter, because the amount of money they put into ports is about a quarter of what they put into a new game. This is bullshit. We've got to find a secret room. I mean, Tropical Freeze was a port. Freaking, they're making port money, dude. They're making crazy port money. This makes me so fucking mad. Pretty sure I already checked there, but... Oh! I mean, I'd prefer them to make a new game. I would. I'm just saying, if it's either they make a port or they do nothing with Mario Maker, I say make a port. So rude. Yuck. Good. Goodish. I'd super, you know, I'd super freaking love a new Mario Maker, especially that did something totally different than Mario Maker 1. I just don't think, I think that they have their hand on so many projects right now. And they're trying to keep a steady drip. They're not loading up and then having a dead time. So it's more likely, since we haven't heard anything about Mario Maker, they're doing something different with it, and it's going to become a renewed series. But Mario Party, Smash Brothers, Metroid, Pokemon, like fucking 2 Pokemon games, Yoshi. What was the other one that they're working on? I guess Kirby just came out. Yeah, they got their hands in a lot of pies right now, if that's how you say that phrase. No, their thumbs and a lot of plates. And it's great. It's great that they're working on so much, and they're actually announcing so much of what they're working on. But I think we're more likely to see to know all of what they have in the pipeline for the next 2 years, at least. For the rest of this year in 2019. They'll probably release some information about games that are going to start coming out in 2020 by the end of, or by the middle of next year, by E3 of next year. But I think hoping for too much is like expecting disappointment. Oh, dude, I would love a Breath of the Wild too. Nothing changed. Except a new map. And some new powers. I'd be all about that. Not well, maybe it would, but I think Breath of the Wild 2, going off of the engine and architecture they already have, being a new game built on that same physics system, could come out as quickly as Majora's Mask did after Sweet. As quickly as Majora's Mask did after Ocarina of Time. Ah, the dungeons weren't the game, though. I don't know. If they had more stuff that worked like Castle Hyrule with, like, branching paths and stuff, it'd be cool. I think that the game of Breath of the Wild was not supposed to be dungeons, because that's what they did. They put all of their emphasis on dungeons and left these kind of hollow worlds in all of the other Zelda games. Breath of the Wild, for me, was an amazing series of locales with weaker dungeons, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess I got tired of dungeons being the only thing to look forward to in Zelda games. They were it. Zelda, since Ocarina of Time, was mostly just dungeons and then empty space. Even Hyrule Field was just empty space you just had to get through. Freaking Wind Waker was a great game, but it was the worst offender of that. Like, giant open maps where things would randomly happen that didn't have any... that didn't matter at all, basically. I think the dungeons in Zelda, in Breath of the Wild, were good for a focus on non-linearity, but they weren't good if you just wanted more of the old school multi-tiered dungeons. Like, they were all puzzle box dungeons, which I typically liked more in the other Zelda games. But they didn't feel as, like, lovingly crafted. It really did feel like they put all of their emphasis in the world and the Hyrule Field. Yeah, those are the puzzle box engine. And there are a lot of those in the Zelda games, but Water Temple is the one that people seem to remember the most. Where the dungeon is like a puzzle that you have to solve instead of just being something you progress through and around. And I like those better. I thought the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time was amazing once I could switch my boots fast. Damn. I think they were identical in appearance, but I found the puzzles to be very different. I also didn't rush through them. I really took my time with the dungeons in Breath of the Wild. Whoa, that sucked. Not looking too hot for this boss. Dude, this sucks. Oh, what? Thought I had the reload, but I guess not. This sucks. Should have probably picked up some more weapons. Oh, I guess we can use this. As soon as this one wears off, we're in for real trouble. Because I'm just not going to use the thing this early. Makeshift cannon. Alright. Trouble time. Ooh boy, this is fun. There, got him to kill himself. I don't like how his guns still move. And how he gets off his final shot. That's dope. Albie, give me something good, please. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's really good too. It would be nice if we had some freaking ammunition that I didn't have to pay for. I think the world construction of Breath of the Wild is some of the most impressive, like I would just straight up say unparalleled, open world level design of any game of all time. I think the lack of dungeons is unfortunate, but it's kind of like saying a game focused on one aspect of gameplay and didn't get the mini games right. At least to me. No dodge roll, okay. The dungeons felt like mini game style challenges and not a part of the, not like the driving force of the game, you know? And while they could have been better, they could have had more of that old feel. I'm kind of glad they went in a different direction with one of the Zelda games, because honestly, if it had been more like the other Zelda games, I wouldn't have been that into it. I liked Skyward Sword, but I don't remember having a good time while playing it besides a couple of bosses. Like, I think it does. And I think the fact that they added all those shrines that did something similar, at least some of them. Not all of the shrines were 1,000,000%, but there were a lot of them that provided, you know, more self-contained puzzles, but that provided some really interesting puzzles. And I think they kind of made puzzle-heavy dungeons a little bit less of a focus. Again, it's a preference thing. I'd rather have a game that feels great all of the time than have a few memorable dungeons in a 60-hour experience. Yeah, I guess we're getting into the... I guess this whole conversation is opinion, but for me, I'd rather have a game that the whole time I feel like I'm having like a great exploration, a great, like that's what I feel like Zelda games are trying to be, is this grand experience of exploring a world and, like, I don't know, really like coming to understand what makes this world tick. And when all the focus is dungeons, it feels like those worlds are overlooked. Like, Jesus Christ, game. We'll probably get Casey. Now, it doesn't need to be one or the other, but what you started off saying was a game with like a linear story and non-linear dungeons. You kind of said it should be the other instead of both. And I feel like I'd rather have a game where the 80% of the game you spend your time playing... Oh man, the story was your experience. I don't think having, like, focusing on a pre-scripted narrative is, the only way to have a good story. I think having a good story is, like... I have so many distinct memories of events created by my experience, still to this day, that I didn't have in any game where everybody that played it had the same experiences. Like, if every encounter you have is the same one that every player has, it kind of just feels, it feels forced. Like, what I loved about Breath of the Wild was there were so many situations and, like, puzzles that I set up, or I even saw other people doing things that I never would have thought of. Oh my god. Let's just go fight the boss, then. Still don't really have a ton to take this boss out with. And while the story was, I will agree, the story was weaker than it's been in any of the other Zelda games. I couldn't tell you 90% of what happened in Skyward Sword's story because I was just so bored with the world. Like, I think I can tell you a ton of what happened in my playthrough of Breath of the Wild, but I can't tell you... Jesus Christ, kid, shut the fuck up. I can tell you so much about what happened in my Breath of the Wild playthrough, and almost nothing besides a couple of dungeons from Skyward Sword. Oh boy. I could say the same thing about Link Between Worlds, too, honestly. It's not just Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword is just a pretty bad offender of it. Like, I think the story was really great in Ocarina of Time, and they tried to recatch that magic. They tried to recapture that rainbow in all the other ones, where they just focus on the story and they had a, you know, dungeons were it, and the overworld was kind of blah, like, but I think they did something new, and I think they should continue doing something new with the series. I think that, nice. Shops are cheaper. There wasn't really anything in here. Oh, yes, there was. That's not cheaper at all. Oh, well. This run just turned great. Oh man, I am freaking stoked right now. Just gotta not get hit. Gotta not walk into bullets. Oh, I already found the secret, that's right. But yeah, I don't know. I think I say to each its own. Maybe have two parallel styles of Zelda going forward. One that's world-based and one that's what would you call it? Dungeon-based. I personally would love to spend more time in an interesting open world. Not that I think you have to have one or the other, but if the choice was one or the other, I would choose a big world with a few dungeons that might not be the best in the world, but like, to me, Hyrule Castle was an example of a direction they could take it, where it's a part of the world and you can access it through so many different directions, and when you do, you can approach it in a complete non-linear way. I watched my wife go through Hyrule Castle, and she went a totally different way from me. She avoided all of the Linoxes, the Centaur guy. She avoided every single one of them. Didn't even like come across them, and yeah, I don't know. If they could do that, if they could do more of that, everything else in the game would be fine in any other style. I kind of felt like the Great Plains was a great approach too. Oh fuck! Get over there. There we go. Like a little self-contained area that you kind of have these missions going through. And not to mention the shrines that are like Onset Island or whatever it's called. Not Onset Island. What was that island where you start off with nothing? Those things were freaking amazing. Alright, we're gonna lose our metronome. Eventide, yes. Things like that. Like self-contained challenges in an open world, I think, don't necessarily need to be dungeons. Oh man, that sucked. Glad I didn't waste a key. I think it needing to be a dungeon is the main thing I disagree with you about, Andron. I think if you can have self-contained non-linear experiences, however they're presented, they can be great. I don't think it needs to be a dungeon at all. Damn it. And I think there were at least a handful of those. A handful of shrines that I thought were absolutely brilliant. Dungeon quality shrines that they might have been over in like 20 minutes or so, but like, oh, fuck. I like felt that one. But the puzzle really got me, and it really just like pulled me in. Even some of the other shrines, like the one where you have to carry that boulder all the way across the beach, I thought that was freaking amazing. And it was a little dungeon-lit of itself. Dealing with all of those enemies coming from all different directions. Another locked door. This is crazy. And we got a shrine. YB shrine. No, not gonna do it. And another locked door. What's going on, game? Well, I guess they really want me to switch weapons. If I get hit or something, I'll unlock all of those. I actually really hope that's another key salesman. My third in this run. That guy was not a team player, more like a team slayer. God, I hate these fucking kids. I can't wait until I move. These kids literally scream at the top of their lungs because their own dog is running around. They scream like they're being fucking hurt. There we go. Well, that room sucked. Cool. Shit. Fuck. We'll definitely be getting the 6th chamber. Wait, the 6th chamber might put us way over. Alright. No, wait, that's the wrong thing. So 3.5 from Cursula, or 2.5 from Cursula, 2, so 4.5. Let's pause. 2.5 plus 2. Plus 2. 6.5, and then what about the Excalibur? It's 2.5. I guess I can drop Excalibur. It's 5, 7, 9. Be at 9 coolness. That's too much. I'm gonna go pee real quick though. I guess I'll get rid of Excalibur and just use this other stuff. Thank you. Yeah, let's use up Excalibur here. Get rid of it, because it's not useful for any more bosses, really, and I don't like it as a room clearer, especially when I have Casey. Then we'll be, instead of 9, we'll be at 6.5, which will mean no bosses will be... oh my god, I should still dodge roll when I try to use my attack to get through that. Or my reload. One bullet left. Oops, we're all out. Probably that. I want flak bullets. Wait, what's the other one? Oh, wait, yeah, this. Alright, let's get coolness. Oh, I can't go this way. Oh, God. Run feels thrillingly good. Actually got some use out of the ration ones. Well, not really. There have been a lot of opportunity to buy health upgrades on this run. Like, a lot. And that's very strange. They're, like, literally right under my freaking window. Oh, I hate it. So we're gonna have a very fast refresh rate on our lead skin. Speaking of refresh rate, it seems like my monitor is finally actually showing 144 frames per second. God damn, I can't wait till I can move. This is ridiculous. Everything is so ridiculously loud in this neighborhood. I wish I would get Casey Metronome on the first floor, because I would just straight up use it on the boss. The crazy amount of damage you'd be doing per swing. Go away with that. What are these fucking kids doing? They're playing like a patty cake game, where they're just naming a bunch of people. They said like Marilyn Monroe and Rosa Parks. Oh, I know what they're doing. Helix bullets. Helix bullets are going to be great with a ton of these. So yeah, we'll get those. Oops, well. Yeah, we're getting those freaking Helix bullets. Holy shit, maybe we're not. Maybe we're just doing the YV shrine. Ah, Helix bullets are probably actually worth more than the YV shrine. Alright, but we got 2 things to spend on. We didn't start the fire. I'm gonna boopy-doop-a-doop. Alrighty. How you doing? I know you're not much of a Smash Brothers fan, but big news in that regard today. That's what Andron and I have been talking about for most of the stream. The insane amounts of hype we feel towards the announcement of every, oh my god, every character appearing in Smash 5. Game of the decade. It's kind of sad how bad Smash 4 is going to look in comparison to this one. Like through the lens of history. That was close. What the hell? You know, my favorite part of Brawl was the slipping. It really evened the playing field between pros and beginners, as intended. I think I do disagree with you on that one, Roddy. But if you're trying to be incendiary, you're going in the right direction. Damn. Do you see that the banana peels were back? So even if tripping's not back, there's an item that can do it. I mean, not that items even a little bit matter, but still. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to finish the rest of this floor before we do the boss. We're going to get Helix bullets, and we're going to get... we're going to donate a bunch of the YV Shrine. The idea of, like, giving beginners a chance to compete with seasoned vets of a game is good in theory, but, almost never works in practice. There's, like, a lot of very obvious reasons as to why that is. Not impossible. It could just be like a sliding scale, a handicap. Like, and a handicap that's based off of play metrics would be something that's totally amazing. Like if I have a save file and I bring my controller over or something with that save file on and it has my win-loss ratio or something coded into some sort of metric for handicap, so then someone who's much better than me does half as much damage or a quarter as much damage or something based on their handicap. That'd be a good way to balance it. What isn't a good way is just random chance, because that doesn't fucking change anything. A better player is still going to be much better, even if they fall down one time. If it's something you can turn on and off, I think there's no real reason why it's a problem, in my eyes. Yeah, maybe give them the options. Different ways to engage it. I think a stat-based one is fine. I think having various ways of equalizing it, because a stat-based one is not really an equalizer. It's kind of a random. It's still kind of random. I mean, not a stat-based, but one that you choose. You can slowly work towards what you think is the fairest, but you know, you got to figure that out instead of a metric that's more accurate and more consistent. Oh my god, it's so weird. I love seeing the YV bullets and the Helix bullets. You can tell which ones are YV bullets because they go straight. Ah, it doesn't reach. Dang. That's super lame. Come on. Oh, that sucks. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. Ugh, fuck. Wow. Almost messed that up. Big time. Whoa. Oh my god, with Helix bullets. I wish I had... I fucking rolled into him! I felt that happening too! Oh, man. There goes my fucking leg god. I rolled into the guy. Oh, I felt that happening. I think you're picking and choosing the better parts of the game. Clones are fine. It doesn't actually take anything from the game. Clones are one of those things where, like, I can see how people might not like them, but what I don't see is what they actually detract from the game. Like, I don't see it at all. Oops. It looked like watching the Smash Invitational that Bayonetta was to some degree balanced. It doesn't add much, but it doesn't fucking hurt the game. That's what I don't get. Like, they added a ton of other stuff. They added a buttload of other things that are significant over the freaking Nintendo 64 version. You're going from the 64 version to Melee. There was a ton of shit added. The fact that they also added clones doesn't hurt anything. Nah, it looked like they said, even the announcer said that they decreased the amount of frames from her bat within, and she wasn't being used nearly as well, as effectively. Even from, like, pros. Damn it. She might have the same moveset, but I don't think that she's identical in the metrics. Oh my god. That was bad first round. No, I know you didn't say it was worse than the 64 version, but you're saying that, like, by adding clones, that somehow is detracting from what they could have added. And I think that that's incredibly beside the point. One addition does not equal one subtraction. Ooh, that's hard to hit. I guess the way I think about it is I got a decent amount of play off of the Wii U version of Smash. I got a very little play off of the Switch version of Smash, and I got a ton of play off of Melee. Part of that has to do with where I was in my life, but I think a bigger part of it has to do with what the game added over the ones before it. I think that the changes... Melee was just more freaking hyper insane. It was a fast game where you had fast turnarounds. The turnarounds in 3 or Brawl or whatever felt stupid and random. Oh, man. I don't know. I feel like, Roddy, you get... With a lot of games, you kind of get hung up on one shortcoming of it. Instead of... I mean, and a lot of times these are, granted, games that you haven't actually played. But it seems that a lot of the time your argument is like, this one thing sucks. And I don't think that that's like a fair way to look at a lot of these games. The game is made of its component pieces. I don't know. Melee was better than Brawl because the combat was better, not because it sucks that it had clones. Brawl was worse for a number of reasons. It felt uninspired and slow by comparison. It felt like while they weren't using clone characters, they were using a lot of the characters were kind of uninteresting. I think if you pick one thing and hate it, there's no argument against that. I don't know. Like, no one thinks that the clone characters were the best part of Melee. But tons of people think that the combat was better. The combat, in my opinion, was leagues beyond that. I think that's the main reason I didn't play much of Brawl, because the combat just felt so sluggish. Smash 4 did a really good job of kind of existing between the two. But, like, even Smash 64, I know it was technically slower than all the other ones. It felt like, for when it came out, it was a very, very fast and frantic game. Games got a lot faster since then, but going from a fast and frantic game to a slower one felt, you could feel the sluggishness. Like, also, I don't think Final Smashes did anything for the game. When you say meta, I think you're talking about Meta Knight every single time. Oops. Last one. Oh boy. Oh boy. I understand the emphasis on in-game balance, meta balance too, even though it doesn't really affect me as directly, because it is becoming more and more of a spectator sport. Why is this so busted? Look at that, every time. I get my frame rate down to 40. For me, like, when I was playing Melee, there were tons of times where me and my friends, we each had our main, and we could really, like, save those fights where it was main versus main. It would be Ganondorf, Fox, Sheik, and I think Zero Suit Samus? No, you needed to do a... I don't remember Zero Suit Samus. No, she wasn't in that one. But it was definitely Fox, Samus, Falco, and Ganondorf. That's what it was. And we would get in those like fucking crazy. And it was always close. Like, it never felt like one person had a super advantage besides the person who was just the best at the game. I don't know what to use for Phase 1. I guess the A key. Yeah, the whole conversation is subjective. That's exactly what any conversation about which game is better is. But that doesn't mean there's no comparing the reasons behind them. I think some reasons are more sound than others. And I think if your reasoning is like, I didn't like that there were clones that could have been something else, like, that to me doesn't feel like a good argument. Because clones were one small part. Dude, I don't think I have a weapon for this phase. Oh, the shell, duh. Probably do makeshift, actually. Well, no, I know, but it was one that's come up over and over. It's just like if the only reason I didn't like Brawl was because of slipping, or if that was like a major reason, kind of the stopping point in the conversation, I wouldn't feel like much of a point being brought up. Oh boy. Okay. I guess those are fair points. I just don't. I guess I don't see any support behind them, because the balance was definitely, at least in my opinion, it was definitely stronger than any other games, like any of the other games. I'm not willing to get closer at this point. So we're just gonna do that and get ourselves a Lich Flawless. We didn't get a Lead God because I walked into the dragon's heart. It's a good run. It's good talking about Smash. I think Smash is a game that brings up a lot of passion because it is such a beloved franchise. And comparing the games is kind of stupid because everyone's just going to be playing the most recent one unless they have a working GameCube or an emulator. I think the more you play a game, the more you feel that, though, Roddy. I feel like you don't... Maybe you never got to the higher end where picking the same character meant a win all of the time. But a lot of people that play the game a lot do. I feel like I didn't get to a professional level in Smash, but I definitely felt that Meta Knight was used all the time for wins amongst my friends. Like, it was felt hardcore. Once it was noticed that people were getting more wins with it, it became what they picked every time. And that's not on a tournament level. That's on 5 people that like the game playing it. Like, it ended up, we would have Meta Knight offs towards the end of it instead of, like, Meta Knight versus Sheik versus Samus versus Fox versus, or Zero Suit Samus versus Fox. It was just Meta Knight, and it got boring. And it kind of killed the steam behind the game. Oh, well, that's a very particular situation, I guess, because I've seen it with every group of people I played Brawl with. Meta Knight was the top pick for serious fights.